All right, so erase whatever you had down here away. Now that I have more time, let's go through it clearly. If you flip this to the front, do you remember this right here? Oh, okay. Well, you might want to put a little box around that because that's your formula for finding the coefficient of any particular term. So that's a combination of n items taken r at a time times x to the n minus r times y to the r. But I'm going to flip this over and write that on the back. Okay. So we are going to use, granted that we are in the general binomial form of x plus y to the n, right? And x and y can be anything. X could be a number or a variable, y could be a number or a variable. And in our case, our x still is x, but what's our y? 3. And what's our power? 12. So I know that n is 12. To get any coefficient of any term in the sequence, you're going to use the combination of n items taken r at a time times x to the n minus r times y to the r. Well, we know n, we know x, we know y. What don't we know? R. Okay? So, what I do know is here in the question, they're asking for the a times x to the 8th. So x generally means the first term in the binomial. Our first term is x, isn't it? And isn't it to the 8th power? So don't we know that in here x is to the n minus r? So based upon the fact that they said that this is 8, don't I know that n minus r is 8? Right? So over here to the side, I'm going to write n minus r must be equal to 8. That's number 1. And I found that just by looking at that they have to give you some knowledge of that term. They can't just say, find the 8th term. They're going to give you x to the 8th. So I was able to figure that out. Do I know any of these two? I know that n is 12, right? N is 12. So I'm going to replace n with 12 minus r equals 8. 12 minus what is 8? 4. So doesn't r have to equal 4? Now we found r. So we have everything we need to write our equation for a. So then step 2, a is equal to c sub n is 12, right? We found r to be 4 times our x is x, right? Because this is our x. So I'm not going to change that. But we already know that it's to the 8th power because they gave that to us, right? Times y is what? That's where the 3 came from yesterday. Y is your 3. So I am going to replace their y with r3. Y means the second term in the binomial. And then it's to be raised to the r. What's r? 4. So you can either use your calculator or you can find the how hard is it to find a combination of 12 items taken 4 at a time? Remember the shortcut? Can I use a shortcut here? So your shortcut would be take 12 factorial but only write 4 of them, right? So 12 times 11 times 10 times 9 over what? 4 factorial. 4, 3, 2, 1 times x to the 8 times, what's 3 to the 4th? What? 81. Then perform your canceling. So 2 into the 10 5 times, 3 into 9 3 times, and 4 into the 12 3 times. So I do have to multiply the 3, the 11, don't forget about the 11, this 5, and that 3 together. So what's 9 times 5? 45. So I end up with 45 times x to the 8 times 81. Now what can I do? Oh, darn it. Well, that's easy enough. What's 45 times 11? You know how to do that. Here I said don't forget the 11. Take the 4 and 5 and split it up. And what's 4 plus 5? So it's 495. Ha! Do you love that? Yes, it really works.
Is it for anything?
Let me just prove it to you. Well, some of them might require a little bit of carrying. So if I did 45 times 11, what do I get? I'm a mathematician.
Why don't they teach us the
I don't know. Well, maybe because elementary school teachers aren't math majors, so math isn't their love and passion. Could be. Yes. Okay, all I did was 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 5 is 45. 45 times 11, so I took the 45 and split it. And whatever you multiply into 11, split it, and then add those together. What's 4 plus 5? It goes in the middle. 9. 495. So 495 times 81, I will help you with, is a very big number. 40,095 x to the 8th. Now, pretty sure, well, yeah, pretty sure you didn't want to go, well, you could have gone to Pascal's triangle with that, but this one's a little different because you don't have two variables. You have a number and a variable. That's it. That's your, okay, well, your coefficient, technically they just wanted A. Your coefficient technically is this. Now, if you wrote the answer like I boxed out, I'm not going to mark you off for putting the x to the 8th in there. Some teachers might. I'm not going to. It's a little picky.
By the time you reach 40,000 Pascal's triangle, it stops being fun.
Well, in all fairness, you're not going to get this on Pascal's triangle because part of this is 81. So remember when we go backwards? Part of it you'll get from Pascal's triangle, but you have to multiply 3 to the 4th to it. You'll end up getting 495 on Pascal's triangle, which could still be a lot, right? Yeah, we don't want to do that. All right, so let's go ahead and expand the binomial based upon the shortcut that I showed you before. So I'm going to pull out here just a little bit. Now, let's review. I have a power of 4. How many terms am I going to have? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have a subtraction sign, which is very important. Do you remember what we do with that subtraction sign? And start with subtraction. Good. So we're going to alternate negative, positive, negative, positive. Why? Because it works. That's all you care about right now. And then what do I do next? Go to row what in Pascal's triangle? 4. Row 4 of Pascal's. So if I go to row 4, and again, we should know this, how much did you have to use this on last night's homework? 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. If you don't have enough numbers from Pascal's triangle to fill in your blanks, you're in the wrong row. Or if you have too many, you're in the wrong row. Shouldn't that be a clue to you? Right? Okay. Then what do I do? Start with the 2x. Now I'm going to take the 2x and put in parentheses because I've got to raise the 2 to the power and the x to the power. So we're going to take 2x and raise, so we start from the left and start from the left. And I'm going to start with the power first. So 2x raised to the 4th power. 2x raised to the 4th, or not 4th, 3rd. 2x raised to the 2nd. 2x raised to the 1st, and then to the 0. I'm not going to write it. Then what do I do? Now take 3 on the right side, start on the right side, and work backwards. So then we're going to take 3 to the 4th, 3 to the 3rd, 3 squared, and 3 to the first, and 3 to the 0 we're not going to write. Then all you have to do is use your algebra and start to simplify. And do it in little pieces. Use a lot of space, kill a tree. Don't be afraid to write things down, less in your head, more on paper. You're likely to make less mistakes. What's 2 to the 4th power? 16. So we've got 16, but it's also x to the 4th. Then minus 4 times. I'm going to wait to multiply the 4 out. 2 to the 3rd is 8, right? X to the 3rd. And then also times another 3. That 3 is in there too, isn't it? Plus 6 times 2 squared is 4, x squared. What's 3 squared? 9. Minus 4 times 2, and then x, and then 3 cubed is 27. And then finally plus 3 to the 4th, 81, right? And then do your final multiplications. And then 4 times 8 times 3 is 96, so minus 96 x cubed. 6 times 4 times 9 is 216 x squared. 4 times 2 times 27 is also 216, so minus 216x, and then plus 81. That's a whole lot shorter than taking 2x minus 3 times 2x minus 3, and then that times 2x minus 3, and then that times 2x minus 3. Can you imagine how much room that would take to do? I love shortcuts. Any questions, especially since you did last night's homework? Any other questions on the notes before we go to your homework? Anything you struggled with or had difficulties with? Okay.